Hi there, thanks for joining me in Melinda's Rubber Room. I am Melinda Pierce, I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to show you how to make this tower card. It's a fun card that's not too difficult to make, and I will walk you through all of the steps to do that, to make this card. This is a card that I showed how to make during one of my recent Zoom sessions. I offer Zoom classes every week, typically from 10 in the morning till 12 o'clock on Wednesday mornings, and same time on Saturday mornings. You can get all of the information on Melinda's Rubber Room on Facebook. I hope you can join me there and find out all about my current upcoming classes and any specials that Stampin' Up! Might be offering. Okay, so I'm going to point you down and around to show you how to make this fun card. Okay, so I have all of my measurements over here, so you can zoom in on those if you get lost through the video, during the video. And I hope that you will take the time to make this card along with me as I put this together. Okay, so I am going to start with our base. This measures 7 inches by 6, and it is scored at 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, and 4 inch. That is along the 7-inch side of the cardstock. And then I'm simply going to fold on those score lines. I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder just to make sure all of those creases are nice and reinforced. Okay, so this is going to create the little tunnel part of the card, this area here. So you simply want to fold those 1-inch sections over so that you create a little square in the center. Again, it's just folded over on itself with this last 1-inch piece sitting up right against that larger section here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that together. You can use adhesive for this as well. Just make sure it's a strong adhesive. So what's fun about doing this during the Zoom session is if you do run into any problems putting the card together, I can usually look at your card and what you've done and be able to tell you how to fix it. So it's always a great time to be able to share with each other and learn from each other as well. Okay, so I'm going to bring my sample back in and turn this so that it's just like my sample. So this section here is just this section here. Okay, so then I'm going to take my next panel, where we call them fins on this card, and that will be attached like that. This one will go here. Whoops, and this one will go here. Okay, so let me just go ahead and attach those one at a time. So it's always good to compare it to the finished product because you can kind of get turned around with adding the fins in the wrong section or facing the wrong way. I know I have done it a number of times, so don't be surprised if you have to do it more than once. Okay, now this one is going to go like that. Like so. And then this one is going to go like that. Like I said, the card does fold flat, so feel free to fold it flat so you can make some good contact with your cardstock to make sure it's all glued down firmly. Okay, so there is the base of the card. And now we're going to add our cardstock mats. So you're going to need 4 pieces that measure 2 3/4 and 4 pieces that measure 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and attach the larger pieces to the larger section of the card. Again, these are just mats, so you're going to have designer series paper over all of these sections. And this just creates a nice separation between the base of your card and your designer series paper. So if you're wondering what DSP or designer series paper is, it's simply double-sided paper. The DSP is simply the name that Stampin' Up! Uses. So all of the products that I am using are from Stampin' Up! And if you see some that you're interested in, you can purchase them on my online store at www.melindapierce.stampinup.net. And that's written right here if you do need to refer back to it. I would love to be able to support you in any of your crafting adventures. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me either on my YouTube channel or my Facebook page. I'd be happy to help you out with any crafting questions you might have. All right, so I have all of my large sections with the mats done, and now I'm going to go in with the smaller pieces and do the same thing. So if you are new to my Facebook page, make sure you check that out, and you can find out about all kinds of different card classes in the mail, or if you're local in the Santa Barbara or Goleta area, I am now offering card classes in my home. So it's nice to be able to do classes in person again now that the pandemic is getting under control a bit. Hopefully that will continue. And I do occasionally do Facebook Lives on my Facebook page as well, on Melinda's Rubber Room. Those are usually like really quick little Facebook Lives showing you how to do a new technique that I've discovered, or sharing a product that is kind of new to me that I'm excited about. So be sure to check those out as well. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my designer series paper, and that is cut to, I have 4 pieces that are cut 2.5 inches by 5.5, and 4 inches that are cut 1.5 to 5.5. And those are simply a 1/4 inch smaller than the mats. So I meant to tell you, so there's 2 ways to do your card. One with the main piece facing on the right hand side, or you could do it with the main piece, the larger section, on the left hand side. So you need to decide if you have a pattern that is one way or the other. You need to decide how you want your card to be, if you want it with the right side being the main section, or if you want the left side. So if you want the left side, you simply turn it the other way around. So I have decided that I want my main piece to be on the right hand side. So I have my directional print going up and down in this direction on the left hand side of my paper. So if I wanted the main piece to be on this side, I would have just flipped my designer series paper around and would have my main section here. So you just need to know that ahead of time if you have a directional print. Make sure that you look at both sides of your paper. You might decide to have different patterns on different sections. And because the paper is double-sided, you can simply turn it over and make that decision as you go. So I kind of like that whiter design there, the lighter color. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that down. Stampin' Up's paper is so pretty that sometimes it's hard to decide which side you want to use. So this way you can actually use both sides, which is nice. There we go. So if you're new to Stampin' Up, feel free to reach out to me. I know sometimes the online catalog is a little hard to go through if you're not used to it. So if you're having problems with that, please reach out to me. I can help you walk through it or send you a hard copy of the catalog. So you can see that once you have that main portion of the base done and the fins attached, this card really isn't that difficult to do, but I'm sure your recipient will think it's just amazing. Just like any of your handmade cards, I'm sure. But it's kind of fun to present them with something that's just a little bit different. And what's nice is you can actually put sayings on all of these different fins and be able to rotate it during the week and have different inspirational quotes or whatever to look at. So you also need white cardstock. This should actually be 2.5 inch, 2.25 inch. Instead of 2.5. If you do 2.25, it's going to cover up this whole piece here. And you can certainly do that. I prefer it the other way though, just having a little bit of border around it. So you're going to have two pieces that measure 2.25 by 3.25. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp on that. So I am using stamps from Encircled in Friendship. This is a new stamp set from Stampin' Up. It's in the new catalog. It's got some great sayings in it, some nice floral images. And what's really cool are these dies that come with it. So I haven't done anything with the dies yet. I'm excited to play with those. But you get all of these circular dies and extra border pieces that go with it. So that's a fun set to use. The words that I'm using say, just a note to let you know that someone thought of you today. And then the other one says, in a world where you can be anything, thank you for being kind. So very sweet little sayings that people can have out on their mantle all year round and remind them that they are thought of and cared about. So I'm just going to stamp that right in the center. Stamp this one in the center. And I think I want these to have a little bit of a border on them. So I'm going to take some of this same same cardstock that I used before and just create a really thin border around it. It'll help separate it between the white background. So those pieces were 2.25, so I think I'll make that like a little bit wider. and 3 1/4. It just kind of helps it stand out a little bit more from that white piece. So I like that. I'm going to go ahead and attach it. So I wouldn't really add too many dimensions to this card because it is already going to be pretty thick because of all the layers. I'm just going to glue this directly onto the card. Like so. Then I have some flowers that I had been playing with. I was experimenting with the new pastels, which are really great. And I'm going to be doing a quick Facebook Live on that later. But these are the flowers from that. I think I'm just going to cut these apart. Maybe just use the little one. You do it just like that. It's kind of cute. I think I'll do that. There we go. I think I might add some more decorations to that afterwards. Maybe put another yellow flower down here. I can do that now. I am going to wait with the other side though, so I can do some more flowers in the mat. I won't bore you with all of that. Let's see, I think I'm just going to leave the leaves off of this one. That one like so. Cute, cute, cute. Alrighty, so there is one side of my card, and then I'll put this other greeting with the mat underneath it on this side. But you can of course decorate all the sides if you want, and just have a lot of fun with it. All right, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and I hope that you will join us on our Zoom sessions Wednesday mornings and Saturday mornings. Those are Pacific time, 10 o'clock to 12:30. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave the question here on YouTube or on my Facebook page. Again, that's Melinda's Rubber Room on Facebook. And yeah, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and feel free to leave comments and to share. That is how I get my word out. And last of all, I hope that you learned something new. And that is always my goal on my sessions, is to be able to teach you something new and get you to craft. So hope you enjoyed the session, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.